Hi everyone, today I'm going to help you to draw and create an artwork inspired by fossils. So I know you've been doing fossils or about to do fossils in your class. So we're going to be creating an artwork today looking to lots of different shapes and different types of fossils and creating different layers of art materials on top of one another. Okay, so I'm going to share some slides with you first. Here we go. Okay, I'm just waiting for these to come up. So fossils are, these fossils here are beautiful. The colours, the shapes, the curved line, how delicate and intricate they are. So we are going to create an artwork, as I said, based on fossils. And we are going to be excavating, we're going to be pretending that we're digging up the earth and we're finding these beautiful treasures because they are so precious and they have been preserved in the earth, and they are what we're going to recreate today in our artwork. We're going to appreciate a sculptor's work and create our own personal response to this and use different everyday materials to create an artwork on fossils. The success criteria is by the end of the lesson, you'll know about fossils, you will learn about sculptor Hamish Mackie, and also I must add in Leonardo da Vinci because he's going to influence our work today. And we're going to use a wide variety of colours and media. So I want you now to think about what you already know about fossils. Your teachers may want to pause my lesson now and you could have a discussion about this, or you may just want to continue on. It's up to you. So what fossils are the remains and traces of things that were before we are on this planet Earth. So fossils are the remains or traces of ancient plants and animals and other organisms preserved in rock that lived a long time ago. And there's different types of fossils, such as body fossils like bones and teeth, and then you've got trace fossils, which could be footprints and burrows. And they basically are found in the earth that once lay underwater. So you can see from this image here, I would imagine that's some kind of insect. So you can see its imprint. It's got a body and it looks like a head and big long arms and legs. So one of the sculptors that we're going to look to today is called Hamish Mackie, and he said that he had really fond childhood memories of summer holidays in Dorset, and he would spend lots of his time on the beach, and he was always foraging around in rock pools, and he was always looking for fossils, and he was constantly out hunting, and he was amazed that he could find these stones which were marked with impressions of holding the preserved remains of an ancient life that had went before him. And he just said it filled him with absolute wonder and fascination when he found fossils. So it's no wonder that he has created so many sculptures over the years on fossils. He just doesn't do fossils, he also does animals. You can see him creating on the right hand side there a horse. So a sculptor is someone that makes pieces of art which are three-dimensional. We are three-dimensional, our body's three-dimensional. We've got length, breadth and height. Okay, whereas probably your table it's three-dimensional in comparison, say, to a piece of paper. It's not three-dimensional, it's two-dimensional. It's got you know, two parts to it, whereas we have three parts in the human body. And also Da Vinci is going to influence us today. Leonardo da Vinci wrote of how when he found he found a fossil, of a whale in a cave in Tuscany, and he wrote, "Now unmade by time, you lie patiently in this closed place with bones stripped and bare, serving as an armature for the mountain placed over you." So he obviously came across this fossil of a whale in a cave, and obviously it had no flesh on its body, it was just stripped bare, and he was saying it was serving as an armature for the mountain placed over the top of you, as if it was almost holding it up. And you can see at the top of the page here, sketches by Leonardo da Vinci, and he's done it on kind of like stained paper, and that's why we're going to use stained paper today to create our fossil drawing. And this was a sketch that he did of hexagons, and the one on the right looks very like a fossil. So a page of Leonardo's manuscript is covered in sketches of marine fossils, and they're like a honeycomb. Yeah, that's what I thought. It looked like honeycomb shape. It's and some professors think that this might be the first ever recorded observation of a trace fossil. So that was over 500 years ago. Leonardo da Vinci briefly focused his attention on fossils. So he also was fascinated by fossils. So that's why on the right-hand side of this slide, you can see a page that has been stained to make it look old. So we are going to use different layers today of paint. Now, on the right-hand side, I have used coffee. If you don't have coffee, you could use tea bags. So I just want your teachers to maybe go to the staff room and take some coffee and put it into a jug or a beaker, and you then stain your pages with this, okay? I mean, you can decide, or your teachers can decide on how dark you want your coffee stain to be. You can layer up other colors on top of that once it dries. I actually took my page of coffee and scrunched it when it was wet, and then very carefully opened it up. And then that's why you've got all those lovely little textures on the surface quality. So it also almost looks like it's been under the ground and it's been opened up, okay? So that's what we want. We want to create that idea. And texture, you know, there's different textures. So if you think about the soil, which is dry, it will be quite hard and, you know, rough to touch in comparison, say, to a silk scarf. Okay, that's really soft and smooth. Or the texture of a tree bark, it would be quite rough as well. So we're trying to get the texture almost off the earth. And then on the left-hand side, I have then stained on top of the coffee. Okay, so I have stained on top of the coffee with a dye, or you could just use watercolor paint and let your pupils be expressive in how they apply the color on top of the coffee. So we want to have layers, okay, layers and layers. Now the white of the fossils, I created with a white pen. If you don't have a white pen, you could perhaps try a white pencil or a white oil pastel. And then I did the shadows with a black pen. So you could use a black pencil or a black pen or a black oil pastel. It just depends on what you have in the classroom. So these are the different types of drawings I will be sharing with you today and showing you how to draw once you get your pages stained and they're dry. So you may want to, for example, the first week, spend time doing your coffee prints. Second week, putting on another layer of paint on top using darker tones of browns and blacks. You could even put in a bit of blue. Another thing I can suggest is if you have sea salt, you can put the sea salt on top of the watercolor when it's wet and then let it dry. And then when you come back and all the little bits of the salt have crystallized, you can just sweep them off when it's dry, and then they'll create little white marks on your page, which is really nice. I'm just giving you different ideas here. And then you draw this on top, these images on top with a pencil, okay? So you can see that there's fish bones, there's a spider, there's some natural forms, and then you've got a little dancing dinosaur at the bottom, a spiral fossil shell type shape, and then there's a dinosaur's almost like fingers or claws. So you can sketch the outlines of the chosen fossils lightly in pencil on the dried stained paper. There's some more images for you. And, you know, really let the children go to town with the patterns as well. So pattern is a motif or a line that has repeated over and over and over again. So you can see in this spiral fossil shell type shape all the different patterns. It almost looks like the sun spiraling out, and it's coming out with this all these lovely curved lines. So we've got curved lines, we've got spirals, we've got vertical lines going down the center, and then we have horizontal lines like the little fish fossil there, the second one over. So you can see that's a little fish because it's got little tails a tail and two little fins. So different types of lines. So the first step you do is you then, after that, once you draw it, then you use a white gel pen, sorry, I can't speak, or oil pastel, and then you outline the fossil. And then the second is to add in the black for the shadows. And we're going to do that around the outside and crosshatch. And crosshatching is whenever so you can sort of see me crosshatching here. I'm showing this very kind of close up. So crosshatching is when you do lines in one direction and then you go in the opposite direction. And you really need to go really heavy for the shadow to make it stand out, because we're trying to make it look almost as if it's three-dimensional. Without the shadow, that will not happen. So I'm going to stop share now, okay? And I'm going to take you through how to draw all the different various parts of the fossils, okay? So you can see here on my page, you can see the coffee at the edge, coffee down here. So it's quite free, okay? You don't have to control the paint in this one for the background. The more textures you have, the better. And then you may also, as I suggested, use, you can bring in sea salt and you can sprinkle it on top when it's wet, when you've put on your watercolor. And then you get these lovely little marks like this. They almost like bleach it out, okay? So, and then there's another thing you can use, but it depends, I guess, on what your budget's like. But these are called brush-o dyes, okay? And this comes in a box with different colors. So what you do is you just sprinkle this on. You don't need very much. This is how I've done all these pages, basically. A mixture of coffee at the bottom, brush-o dye and paint. You don't have to use this, but you basically, I'll try and do it here so you can see. So you basically just sprinkle on, not sure, a little bit. Okay. Then you need to take a water bottle, and you see where it just disperses, and all the dye then just runs. Now, to me, that alone is creating beautiful textures. Okay, that one there looks like a shell. I did that one earlier. So that's just to give you ideas. So those are called brush-o dyes. They come in different colors. They're really good to create like fireworks, or to create different textures. Okay, so I'm just going to wipe this up a wee bit here because I'm a wee bit messy. So let's start now drawing on our fossils. So we have to take it step by step. So you can draw these shapes anywhere. Now I've got a big page here of lines to show you the basic shapes, all right? So let's start drawing first our fish one, okay? So the fish one is a straight line going across. I guess you're not going to see this on my page. So I'm going to go grab a Sharpie and I'll take you through how to do this step by step, but you're going to be drawing this in pencil, okay? You're going to be drawing this in pencil on your stain page, whether you use coffee or paint or both. That's what I used, okay? So I'm going to draw this roughly. So I'll draw it roughly here. I can see it, but you can't. But I want to draw this so that whenever we come to do the actual drawings with the pen, that these are all good to go. Okay, so I'm just doing this roughly so that I can do a few examples for you, and then you can do the remainder. So let's go. The fish one. So the fish one is a line going across. You can put this anywhere on your page. Okay, so it's a line going across. You're drawing this in pencil. I'm just drawing on this in pen. So you're going to be drawing this in pencil on your actual stain page once it is dry. And then I want you to draw a triangle with a circle. I'll bring this closer. Okay. And then you're just going to do kind of like curved lines which get smaller as they go in. So that's all the wee bones of the fish. Okay, and then you're going to do a little tail. So that's one fossil draw. So let's go over that again. Long horizontal line, curved lines which are getting smaller as they go near the back. And then you can do a tail, and then the head is a triangle with a circle. So that's that one. Okay. So you can pause there for your kids to do that. And then I'm going to move on then and draw a spiral for you. So the spiral is, you start off with a C. Okay, start off with a C, and then bring it round and out and round. Okay, and then you're going to take your pencil, curve the lines. So I'm leaving a space between each of these, like so. Okay, that's that one. So you're doing a C, and then you're going around, around, around. You could end it like it's straight like that, or you can curve it into it. And then I would encourage you all, when you're doing your lines, to kind of curve your lines. Don't just do them straight, kind of curve them. So then it looks like you're going around a three-dimensional shape. Okay, so that's a spiral. To do, say, a leaf, remember, it's a V, the letter V upside down, opposite, another V, so you're creating an arrow, and then you can make these into little plants. I know those are going the opposite way, but I should have had them going that way. Okay, so V, V, and then you can do a V the whole way up, and then you can make those into little leaves. Okay, then you could do a line and just have V's going the whole way up the way. Obviously they're bigger at the bottom and they're getting smaller as they go up. Let's now do this funny looking one, this dinosaur. He's funny, isn't he? He cracks me up. Right, so basically to do that one, you are going to, I'll draw it smaller. Okay. Let's see, I'll draw it smaller on here. So we'll do the spider and the silly dinosaur. Okay, so the dancing dinosaur has a triangle head with a curve at the back and an eyeball. And then you're coming up from the top of his head and you're kind of doing like a question mark sort of shape. And then you're going to double that up. Okay. Then you're going to do little lines in there, like a minus sign. And then you're going to start drawing up here at the top a number 11. Then you're going to go over and have little lines like that. So that's like an equal sign, only it's quite long. So that's his little legs going out at the top. Okay, and then you're going to draw same sort of shape. It's almost like a triangle here. And then there's a big limb going out. That's like a V upside down. And then there's another one here. So he's like dancing. Okay, so that's your funky dinosaur reptile. Then if you want to draw this sort of spider shape, it's a round circle. It has little antenna at the top that kind of go over and up. Then we're going to draw a bigger circle for its body. It's got two little minus signs coming out at the top that go down and go down. And then he's got his wee legs at the back. So he's kind of dancing as well. Okay, so that's those shapes. I showed you how to do that one. I showed you how to do the spirals. If you want to draw a shell, like there's a shell here at the bottom of mine. So to draw a shell, you basically, I'm putting this up so you can see, so you do that sort of shape, then you come out either side. Okay, so it's like a wide W. Then you go in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. It's kind of curved. And then at each little bit that comes down, you bring that down to the center. So that's like a little shell shape there for you to draw. I think that's mostly everything. You could do leaves. You could draw your own type of, you could create your own type of insect. You could use your imagination. Okay. So then you, after you get all your drawings done in pencil, I want you then either to go over them with your white pen. So you're going over all of your drawings with the white pen. Okay, there's my little fish. Then I'm going to do my big spiral. Right, I don't want you doing it straight. I did that, that's not good. I want you to do it curved. Okay, so I'm showing you what I don't want you to do. So it's like wee smiles going the whole way around your actual shell fossil. Okay. Then I need you to do, I'm going to do my wee spider now. Okay, that's that shape. Then I'm going to do my dancing dinosaur because I just love his shape or her shape. So you are just drawing over your actual pencil drawings, okay? You already have these. You can extend the lines of your dinosaur and make it longer if you want to. I'm only making suggestions, okay? You can create your own shapes as well if you want to. I'm only giving you little indicators, shining. Okay. Then you can do leaves like so. Okay. So you're basically adding on, and then after that, I want you to take your pen and I want you to do your shadow. So with your shadow, you're just using a black pen and you are going around and you can do a little bit of cross hatching. Okay, so you're cross hatching all the different areas where the shadow would be. So you're just, I'm using a Sharpie. You don't want to use a Sharpie, you could just use a black biro pen. And then you are going around and you're doing in your cross hatching. Remember I said cross hatching is when you go one way and then you go the other way. And you need to do that for the outside of each of your objects. And then you go the other way. You want these to stand out and make your fossils look really, really, really three-dimensional. So you could do like a thickish line going around it at the outside. If you don't want to do cross-hatching, you could just go around it like that. But you want to try and make this stand out because this is going to be impressed into the ground. So therefore we need to do your shadows. You can make your shadows really thicker, say on the right-hand side, so then it looks as if it's kind of 3D. Okay, so you decide, but you need to make it really nice and thick. Okay, and then you just continue the whole way doing that until your actual drawing is finished. And then you'll all have lovely fossil drawings. So thank you so much, and I'll see you soon. Bye.